Hey everyone, Morgan here. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to make a graph using graphing software on your computer. I am currently doing this on a Macintosh desktop machine, and I'm using Microsoft Excel. In a separate video, I'm going to address how to do it using the Google Sheets application. So what you're seeing is a blank workbook of Excel. And the first thing I'm going to do in the lower right corner here is I'm going to magnify it a bit because my vision's not wonderful. And then I'm going to put some data in. Now, I'm just going to use the equation y equals 2x and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for my x values, which will give me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20 for my y values. Okay? Now, I'm going to use the mouse to highlight that data. When I have done that, I'm going to go up here to the Insert menu, and I'm going to insert a chart. And almost every graph that we do this year is going to be an XY scatter plot. So I'm going to choose that. Okay, the graph now exists. I will go up to this nice little button here called Move Chart. Sometimes it'll be on a menu up at the top that says Chart Menu. I'm going to move the chart and insert it as a new sheet. And that way I'm just seeing it on the screen and not anything else. There you go. There's the chart without any other distractions. Now I need to start labeling axes and formatting and all of that. So there is a quick layout function here, which I can choose. Looks like that. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this series indicator because I don't have multiple series to worry about. Now I'm going to give the chart a title. And I like to name it either what the name of the lab is or more likely what it is I'm actually graphing. So if it's like the first lab in Honors Chem, it's going to be mass versus volume. And then beneath that, I will add my name and period so I know which class it's in. This is really necessary because if we're printing in the classroom, a lot of graphs that look similar are going to be popping out of the printer at the same time. Okay? Now, for the vertical, or what we call the y-axis, this is mass, and then in parentheses, I'm going to put G for grams. I always include the unit that something has been measured in. Then selecting the horizontal one, or the x-axis, that would be volume milliliters. Now, in different labs, you're going to be graphing different things, so these names are going to change. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, now add chart elements. On the axes, okay, I can, have my primary horizontal, primary vertical. Okay, I'm not seeing those vertical ones so well. Let's see. Back in, there we go. And then axis titles, I've already done those. Chart title, I've already put it in there. Data labels, I don't like to do data labels, so I'm going to leave those off. Error bars will come if you take AP Chem. Grid lines, I'm going to do my primary in both the horizontal and the vertical. Okay. And then under trend line, I'm going to choose linear. Now that is not a connect the dots line. That's just going to go through all of the points showing the trend that they're following. Sometimes points will be above and sometimes points will be below. Okay. But it's a good way to do it. Now I chose linear on that because I knew that this data was linear. Now, there will be times when it might be exponential or something else, okay? Then going to trend line options. What I'm going to do is show the equation and the R value on my chart. I am going to move them up here to the corner to make them a little bit easier to see. So y equals 2x, exactly what I had typed in as the data. And the r squared equals 1 is telling me that this trend line goes through all of these data points perfectly. It's a great fit for that function. Now, sometimes it'll be off, and you'll get, an r squared equals 0.99, 0.95, etc. And that is just going to tell you how far off of that function, y equals 2x in this case, the data is. So that's really good for that. Okay, now I'm going to select my axis here, and that's the vertical, and I'm going to go over here, and I am going to get rid of some empty space that I see on this graph. So I'm going to make the minimum value for this, instead of equal 0, to equal 1. Okay, and instead of 21, let's make it 20. Okay, actually that minimum, let's make it 2. Let's make sure we have a nice solid fit there. Okay, now if I click on the horizontal axis there, 0 is not any good. We'll make that equal to a 1 and the maximum equal to a 10. Okay, and now that line fills up the entire graph. So there you go. That's what a good graph for a lab would look like. At this point, I can convert this into a PDF to save it. I can keep it as an Excel file. Okay, I print it from this, and it will print out full screen. Okay, I will change the orientation to be from portrait to landscape so that it fills the whole page of paper. Okay, so that's how you do it with Excel, which is available on all the computers in the classroom. And we'll have another video showing you how to do it using Google Sheets. Thanks for tuning in. This is Morgan signing off.